Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Drawbridge. I hope you are enjoying the series. I have been, and the support on it has been tremendous. So thank you for all of the lovely feedback on the last episode. And I had a suggestion to build a crane in the comment box, and it reminded me of this little thing right here. I guess if you got hydraulics it would be possible to do this, so that's something I think I want to keep in mind. Maybe there'll be an ideal level to do something like this right here, which would be a fun little way of doing things. So as we go into this level, do want to mention that a couple of levels have been over budgeted. I might do something in one episode where I sort of go back and show you some revised designs to keep it under budget, but that is what we're going to aim for, always to try and keep under the budget. Of course, I don't want to spend, ages and ages working on this, so if we do go over budget, it's not the end of the world. And let's have a look at our materials. So we've got road unlimited, wood unlimited, steel unlimited, hydraulics, which is interesting because I wouldn't have thought of using it on this one. And that's about it. Oh no, wait a minute, have we got cables? No, we haven't. Okay, cool. So, what I'm thinking of doing is something like this. So let's click all the way over here. That's going to be our first little bit. The second one, I think if we go out by 2, and maybe it like raises up a little bit just to adjust the car, because we're literally going to let it fall onto the tracks down below, which I know sounds a little bit terrible, but I think it might work. So if it were to go up a little bit, I'm just wondering if the car would sort of fall off the ramp differently. Let's just see what happens. So we're going to start off probably with steel, because it will make its way all the way up there, and that's expensive. Actually, that seems like a bad idea straight away, because the wood, it's going to use... Oh no, I can use 2 connections. The wood can create a support like that, can't it? Cool. So then for the steel, maybe we go from here to here. And I wonder if it can sort of rest against the side. What's going to happen when we do that? It actually sort of rests a little bit if you look. Kind of gets nudged into the wall. That's interesting. Maybe we'll make it a little bit bigger. It'll be a little bit more secure. Okay, we'll try that just to see if it works. Then what we're going to need is some sort of grid underneath here. And let's bring it... we're going to need a few more, aren't we? So as always, adjust these things. And I really like the idea of it being like a nice straight line. That seems to be like structurally sound, or the way to do things, but I can never quite get it in this game. And you're not going to connect there, are you? Okay, maybe we'll have to adjust this just to suit that. So that is probably making a load of you rage. I read the comments, I see some of the things you say. Assume we shouldn't make bridges. Oh, joking. Right, so that's a really great start, but that... Oh, it looked like it was going to hold up for a second. It looked like it actually broke up the top here, so maybe a connection between those two would help. And this thing just needs, I think, some support on the opposite side, right? And we're under budget. Well and truly under budget, so that's a promising sign. So what happens now? The whole thing goes. There's no real support over here, is there? I think even if that was made out of steel, it wouldn't be that good. Maybe we should just be putting the support on top. That always seems to work so much better for us, doesn't it? I think you're probably going to be wanting to be connected like that. Yeah, that looks solid over there now. So if we were to just create some triangles up here, we could even perhaps connect it to this part of the bridge as well. Right, so that looks okay. Will that work? Almost. Definitely needs a connection over here, doesn't it? So maybe we'll just get rid of that. And let's hope that works. Alright, here we go. Bus number 1. And it did a pretty solid job. So car number 2, or car number 1 even. that was terrible. I'm thinking maybe lowering it a little bit might work. So it's got a long way to drop. We don't want it to tilt too far. Do you know what? This thing looks like it sort of sits underneath all of this. So let's say we take a step back here. And we go for the road surface. We bring it down immediately. Then across. Maybe still facing down a little bit. Let's try that. That looks interesting. It gets a little bit of speed. It might just sort of shoot off and land okay over here. So wood is obviously going to be our material of choice. And if we do this right, I think... Ugh, that looks kind of rubbish, doesn't it? Let's move that over there a little bit. Let's go for the... Almost straight. It's not quite now because it's sloped. Move that up by 1. There we go. Doesn't look that pretty at all, does it? But let's see how it does. I kind of like that, actually. Oh! Had to nudge its way over there. Let's see what the other car does. smash and it all falls apart. I love it. I love watching the bridges fall down. I know it sounds a little bit mean, but I think it's funny. Right, so you're not going to move, really. Let's put you like that, then. I feel like I might be overcomplicating it a little bit. Actually, what we should probably do is move this over there, and then move that down. Drag this all the way across, so it's a little bit higher. And now it tilts upwards slightly. But that is a monstrosity of a bridge, but it's fun. It's fun to build them like this. Okay, go on, car. What have you got? Not a lot. It's not got a lot at all, has it? I'm wondering if maybe we should be using those hydraulics. Yes, I think I'll give a couple more attempts at doing this, and then maybe we'll turn to the hydraulics. Okay, I have an amusing solution for you. I've just extended this a lot further across, as you can see, so we literally just dump the car on the other side. Kind of feels a little bit cheaty sometimes that you can solve it like that. But I like this bridge, it's cool, and it's well under budget as well, by like almost 10,000. So the second vehicle comes across, and this counts, apparently. Yep, in the real world they'd accept that as a bridge. Let's go on to the next level here. 14 meters crisscross, that sounds interesting. And what do we have? We have cables, but pistons. Is that hydraulics? Also known as pistons in that little screen that you just saw. Okay, so this one is going to be tricky. You've got to go... A's got to go up, B's got to go down. And how we're going to do this, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking that hydraulics is going to be important. We're going to have to change a part of the track, so... I wonder at what point or what time it gets activated as well. That's going to be hard to check at the moment. So that right there is going to be pretty useless for this guy. See, if the hydraulics gets activated when it's halfway across, you know, it could sort of rise up and then go across to the next bit, and then the next one come across and rise down. Rise down. Get lowered down. But the way we've seen it work is that in between a car going from one side to the other, that's when it changes. So we need a straight route for this guy, then something's got to change in the track, and then it's got to be a route for the other one. Pretty sure nothing about this bridge is going to look pretty, but what I'm thinking is A goes up this side like that, then when this split joint right here is activated with the hydraulics in between, if we can just open it on one side, then maybe B will sort of fall down and end up going down this ramp and across the other side. If it opens on both sides, it might get a little bit problematic. Otherwise, that's probably just going to flop and land on there, which wouldn't be too much of a problem. But now what we've got to do is sort of build support for this stuff, and without some extra anchor points down below, it's going to be a little bit tricky. But I think what we might be able to do is create some sort of arc going across the bottom here to try and distribute the weight a little bit. Even that looks a bit difficult, so I'm just going to work on it. So I've gotten totally carried away, just kind of engrossed in the game, forgot to to bring you up to speed on what I'm doing a little bit here. And you can see, doesn't look very pretty, does it? But kind of gets the job done. At least part of the job. So we can get the first one up to the top, that's good. And then as for the second one, I haven't really figured this bit out yet, but the hydraulics pulls up to there, so let's see how it interacts with the car. Oh wow, it kind of just... it clips it and pushes all of that force into the bridge and finds all of its weak points. So that's not how we're going to do it. Let's go back to the hydraulics. Maybe we pull it all the way over there. Might go behind it then. And then we just need something to pull this bit up, which should be really simple. A case of just something like that, and then the hydraulics can go there. By the way, we've got a couple of cables. These are actually quite key to holding the bridge up, and we might use one or two of those more. But look, we're well under our budget, which is nice. And it's a very hideous looking bridge. But it seems to be holding out. And here comes the second bit. Now that looks kind of good, but it just flops straight down. It completely flops, doesn't it? So I think this, let's remove that. This needs to be a better slope. Let's put it that way. Also, this bit right here could probably do with being a little bit further across, and that's going to change the dynamic of a few things here. Will that actually hold up? Look. Oh no, no, no. That needs some extra support on this side. Now you can't place wood normally when it's right next to... oh, that's hydraulics. When it's right next to a cable, you have to put the cable in last. So if we remove that, we can put extra supports on this side. Maybe even one... no, we'll get rid of that. That should do. And then cable, Now we can put it back into the same position. Alright, so let's do this again. Let's speed it up a little bit as well. We've already seen it go across once. Or twice even? I can't remember now. I think it's twice. And there you go. It looks good, but... the rate at which it comes down, it's going to do nothing but destroy, isn't it? It's going to plop down and destroy. So let's look at the height of that. It looks like you might be able to pull this down like a block or two. Are you going to move? Apparently not. Let's remove those bits. And it doesn't want to move. Fascinating. Alright, so let's lower this top road. I don't think this is going to help too much though. So I've just learned something about the hydraulics as I was destroying the bridge to try something new, start over again. You can click on this and look, you can contract or expand. And that I find interesting because if it's going to contract, I've always treated it like it's sort of like a loose rope that then gets shrunk and pulls a little bit up. But if it expands, then would it be considered as a support? That would be interesting. Oh, we don't even get to see it because this thing sucks. Let's add some steel underneath here, just to do a test at least. That should work. Right, now it supports the weight. What's going to happen next? Wait, what? What happened there? The thing just kept on driving, didn't it? There's the flag. It ignores it and goes... Wow, that's a strange bug. Fair enough. Okay, let's try this again. Alright, I apologise to all the people slamming their faces into desks again. Oh, yeah, this is the B flag. Took me a while, really did. I sort of rebuilt the bridge a couple of times. Anyway, let's do the test at last. So it's going to get up to the top there, then the hydraulics are going to get activated. And it tries to expand, which breaks the entire bridge. So that changes the way that we can do things. And I've got this idea. I don't know if this is how it's intended to be solved, but if we have like a base at the bottom here, oh yeah, I can't do it like that with this. So this isn't quite what I'm trying to show you, but if we have like a pivot point, wow, this is quickly got on pretty ugly. Alright, so that's our pivot point, this bit right here, and then we have a road going across. Then what we do is we sort of shift it from one side to the other. So this goes up and that comes down, and that could be a little bit difficult because when this goes up it's going to be here, and when this one goes down it's going to be there. But that's how I think we're going to have to do this. Some sort of central pivot, and then we move the bridge. So it looks a little bit crazy, hey? But it might work. It might. We're going to need like some extra roads up the top, is what I've noticed. And look at that, it doesn't get to the ground in time. The weight pulls it over to this side. I'm wondering what we could actually add over on this side, apart from more wood. Like if we added something like this down here, that would probably help it tip a little quicker. Ooh, even then it actually doesn't like it, does it? Let's add a little bit more so we know that it's solidly fallen all the way down. There you go. No, it kind of bounces a little bit, so that probably isn't going to work. Okay, we might have to revise this whole seesaw idea. Okay, sort of taking another approach here. We're using the anchor points, and this is just really weird. Watch what happens. I can't explain how this happens. There's no hydraulics. Gets to the top, then all of a sudden, the whole thing breaks. Yeah, not really sure what that's about. It might be because the anchor points are split joints, so maybe it's releasing them. Yeah, it would release them at the halfway point. Let's see that one more time. So this side's going to fall down because it's got more weight, but it looks like the cable also goes with it, which is bad because that's holding the whole thing up at the moment. Let's say we were to just change the road at the end here a little bit. Let's not make that a split joint. Let's put the road like this. I've got a feeling this isn't going to work. Wow, okay. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. So we need more support here. Quickly do that. Just about holds it up. No. Alright, let's take a look at this, because I'm kind of stuck here. This works. That's good. That bit falls away. That's intended. What I was thinking is that we could rotate this little middle section, so we have another road that comes across to here, and then another one that goes down the bottom here, but I really just don't know how we're going to make that work with the hydraulics. So then I was thinking, since these things can both push and expand, why don't we just have one bridge going all the way across, so we can actually sort of make this right now, I think. And actually, I think we might run into a couple of issues here, maybe. Let's make that a split joint, and probably that as well. And then let's say we have like, oh, let's get rid of that cable. A hydraulic going from here to here, that's going to retract. And this is all just for a quick test. This will probably like ruin it, but let's say that one expands. No, sorry, that one would contract. They would both contract. Okay, let's just... Yeah, you see it stands on its own like that, and then... I mean, it showed a little bit of promise. You can maneuver it, but I think we need to do this properly. This is starting to feel pretty useless as well. Everything I'm trying just isn't working, basically. Progress has been made. Oh my god, I've been going at this for way too long now. This game's so addictive, you just really want to solve the puzzle. Anyway, I know you want to see this. Let's slow down the speed. I've been testing it on 200. So this is like really going in a positive direction now, because check it out. That gets all the way up to there, that's great. Then this, look at it. Adjusts, matches up with that perfectly. This bit needs to be a little bit lower. Oh, and it's sort of still on the road, isn't it? It's like its wheels are hooked over the top of the road. So if we just drop this, like, to there, that might be just enough, although this thing might clip it. Let's pay close attention. Now, it looks like it can go even a little bit lower. So now that is going to be... If it clips it, we're going to be in trouble. And it clipped it. It's held up by cables, that middle point, by the way, which is a little bit of a strange way to do things. But there you go. Maybe we could add like a little bit of wood as well to hold it in the correct spot. Let's move it over to there then. Oh man, I've seriously been playing this for way too long. Come on. Let's get one. Let's get it now. That looks a little bit better. Oh, it did it perfectly! Amazing! I want to watch that again. That was like flawless. And we got 8,000 to spare. Look at that. Max joint stress 83%. Oh, that was so good. I mean, you could probably tweak this a little bit as well, make it better, I imagine. Maybe I'm a bit too optimistic there, but there's always ways to make things a little bit better, right? And you saw there we went from it being destroyed hopelessly to a complete victory. Look at that! As it goes down, it doesn't seem to pick up much speed and it goes through. That was awesome! I love it. Okay. Now we've got to do an 18-meter drawbridge. We got some hydraulics and cables again. And let's see what's going on here. So the first thing I'm thinking is the arc. But the road's probably going to go straight across, right? It's not going to arc over. How many road surfaces do we have in total? Oh, no. I think that means as many as you want. So if we build like an arc with some support coming from underneath, then maybe this time what we'll do is try and lift this entire middle bit as one section, so it'll all come up together. So what we would then need, and well, I was thinking of doing this to start off with, our typical type of support, and yep, I'll make that all neat after, and then this bit in the middle would be like this, and then we would lift that up. So maybe if we do that going all the way across. There we go. Then we'll have an arc that goes across the top and back down again as well. Something along those lines. I tried building an arc, and then I realised that this thing is over to one side. Look, 2 bits there, 3 bits over here. And so I just sort of started expanding the structure that we'd already created. And this is actually pretty solid. So we'll do a little bit of an experiment here. It's not going to be enough, is it? Look, we've got to lift that all the way up here. That's not going to happen, but... why am I even trying? Let's actually take a step back here. Maybe what we need, no, is not hydraulics up there. Not road either, it's wood. Okay, and that should be the right sort of structure. So then with the hydraulics, that's not going to be enough anyway, and it's slightly off, but let's see what happens. This thing seems to hold up. It looks pretty ugly, but it should hopefully get the job done. Cool, and then the hydraulics come into play. Now the whole thing doesn't collapse, which is promising. And it's been lifted up a little bit. See you later. There's only that little bit that got destroyed as well. So we just need a way to lift it up a lot higher. Let's see if... oh, it's too far away, is it? We could sort of pull them out to ones on either side, but then they're going to have to be quite equal, I think. Okay, you may have noticed that I've sort of moved one of these joints over a little bit, just so it's now straight. Let's speed up the simulation as well, because we've seen this already. So pay attention to where this goes. That is just underneath that one right there, and it gets broken off. However, if we look, it doesn't have too much further to go. So the problem is now that hydraulics can only go about that far. That's it. It can go a little bit higher. I'll give it a try, but I doubt that going any higher is going to work. So we probably need some sort of other solution here, and I'm not sure what that's going to be. Oh my god. The solution here is really silly. I spent ages like trying to get the finest of margins. You can see here, move this up, down all the way, trying to use a minimal amount of space so that when the hydraulics pulls it up, it can go right above here. All I've used is 2 sets of hydraulics. You can just attach them to nothing and then attach it to another hydraulic, and I've just noticed we've gone well and truly over our budget. I was wondering if you could trim off some little bits like that, maybe even that as well, but that's probably not going to help our budget in the slightest, and this now might not work. No, it seems to be okay. That was unusual. That was not what I was expecting. So I forgot about the budget one on this one, but you know, we'll probably come back and I'll redo the designs and do them with less. Although your design doesn't get saved, does it? Anyway, you can see it here in action. So with those extra bits, I think that just evens it out a little bit more. And something obviously went wrong, but yeah, that's keeping it all okay. So I haven't actually tested it with the second car going across. I've just sort of assumed it would work. It is a little bit more weight, but it looks like it's going to be fine. A little bit of tension there, but no, it's good. It's awesome. And that's it. Another level done. Right, so this next one we're going to be doing in the next episode is a 30-meter double overpass drawbridge. And double? It looks like a triple one. Got 3 boats going through. That's going to be mental. And we're going to do that in the next episode. So as always, if you've enjoyed it, please do leave a like. The support is appreciated on these videos. And if you've got any feedback, suggestions, comments, do all that in the comment box down below. And I'll catch you in the next episode. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.